Hey guys, welcome back to the joy of treasure hunting. I am today out at my local lake's Party Cove, and every lake has one. These are great places to go and find some really cool stuff. You know, that's where all the rich kids go and they act a fool and they lose cool things, and we're here to try and find them today. So I wanted to bring you along for this hunt and also to give you a little bit of a tutorial on how to use the Nokta Legend in the water. So let's get to it, and hopefully we'll find something cool today.
Alright, text me whenever you want me to come get you.
So my buddy Logan, check out his channel, LB Outdoors. L as in Logan, B as in Baker. My buddy Logan here, my son-in-law, he dropped me off here on this beach to do some detecting. He was going to go do some fishing, and he backed up the boat and he says, hey, you know, strange turn of events, looks like there's a bunch of fish right here. So he's going to be fishing right here down the beach from us while we search for lost treasure. You know, everybody's got their idea of what treasure is, and so today we're going to go looking for ours. Okay, so let me just show you what kind of gear we're working with today. All right, so we've got our Nocta Legend here turned on, and I'll tell you all about the settings here in a second. As you can tell, I've painted my little pad there. I've got a nice sand scoop, really handy for this kind of digging. And I made this little sifting screen thing here, just in case, you know, you're working through some rocks or something like that. You can put it all up onto this thing and shake it, and everything will fall through. And then I've got our Nocta Bluetooth headphones that go with the machine. This comes in really handy, really helps you to hear what your target is, and I'll talk more about that here in a moment. All right, so let's talk about the settings on the Nokta Legend for hunting a place like this. This is a freshwater beach, and so what I like to do is put the machine in park mode or field mode, it doesn't really matter, and I like to use M3. It seems to work better in wet conditions, and I've got a discrimination set here to allow it to ring off in anything that's 10 or above. So it's in Ferris right now. One of the other things that I like to change for hunting in the water is sensitivity. I leave that pretty low, actually, not because of interference or anything like that, but just because I don't want to have to dig too deep of a hole with this sand scoop. And you'll see that as you dig in this wet sand, it kind of sloughs back in and fills that hole up. And so if you're digging for a really deep target, you may not be able to find it very easily. Other changes that I make to the settings, other changes that I make to the settings are, I've got it in Bluetooth mode. Let's go all the way over here. You want to find a channel that doesn't have any background noise. We've already done that. The second setting here is our recovery speed. I keep it pretty low, but you can turn it up. Again, we're not trying for depth here. But if you hit the pinpoint button under recovery speed, this is where the important things come in. And I like to run with a relatively high iron filter. I find that that gets rid of all the nails and little random pieces of iron. As you can see, that this is a beach where a lot of machinery is, whether it be a boat out here in the water or an ATV riding along in the sand here. That'll help to filter out a lot of that garbage. The other thing that you'll find under here, if you go over to the right, again, under the recovery speed settings, we got stability, and I run mine really high here at about 5. Bottle caps. This machine, the Nokta Legend, does an amazing job. Good job, you guys, engineers at Nokta, of getting rid of bottle cap signals, which is really hard to do. And so I'll run this at 3 or 4, and I rarely dig a bottle cap with that setting. Ground stability, or I don't mess with that, so don't do anything there. Of course, I've upgraded to the version that has deep target detection, and again, that's turned off because we're not interested in deep targets. Now we're back to iron filters. So those are the changes that I like to make there. I also run with 6 tones. You can go with more tones if you choose. I just leave it in 6 tone. That's something that I prefer. And all the other settings for the most part are normal. So those are the settings that I like to use in the water. And again, this is for fresh water. If you're going to be running this machine in salt water, you want to put it in beach mode. That's that mode right there. You'll want to put it in beach mode and run it beach wet if you're in the water or very near the water's edge, or beach dry if you're obviously in the dry sand. That salt really adds to the ionization, and it helps it to pick up metals, and so you want to run it in the mode that it's set for. But for freshwater, park, field mode, M3 seems to work best for me. So let's get to hunting. All right, let's see what we can find. I'll try and tell you what sort of numbers come up on the machine as we find different things. 25, 26. All right, let's see what we can get. Did I get it? Dug it up? Yep. Somewhere in this mess. Wash it out and see. What did we get? Oh, fell through the holes in my sand scoop, which means it's relatively small. Oh, there we go. There she is. Our first bottle, or not bottle top, but pull tab. Now that's something we're going to see a lot of here out today. And so we'll clean up the beach. And again, this being Party Cove, I fully expect to find a ton of those. If you find yourself seeing the same number over and over again, and every time you dig it in a certain area, it's always the same thing, you might talk yourself into not digging it. But the time you do that is the time it's going to be a ring. So this is ringing up 32, and it's showing something circular on the screen of the Legend. Let's see what it might be. Did I get it? No, didn't get it. That scoop. Again, we're not trying to dig anything super deep, because as we dig this hole, all of the mud and dirt is going to fill back in. This one is already somewhat deep, but we'll keep going just in case. Something great. You just never know. Okay, we think we finally got it. What is it? Party Cove. What do you got for us? Oh, of course, a piece of can slaw. But we're gonna clean this place up while we're at it, and we're gonna do our best. So I'm going to go ahead and go on out here just a little bit deeper. One of the things I'm going to show you guys is how this Nocta Legend works in the water. So before you go in the water with the Nocta Legend, you want to make sure that these caps are on there really good. That'll keep the water out of the electronics, okay? This speaker back here, you would think...
Looks like I might have found some treasure.
Uh-oh. Looks like... Look at there. My buddy... son-in-law Logan has just dragged in a fish.
Definitely not the treasure I'm looking for.
Oh, what did he get?
Probably equivalent to a bottle cap.
Oh,
Or worse.
a turtle. He thought he had a fish and he got a turtle. He said it's probably equivalent to a bottle cap for us. I think he's telling the truth there. That's great. Okay, so when you're going to use a Legend in the water, a couple of things you need to know. Number one, you want to make sure that these caps are on nice and tight, keep water from going in the electronics. And here's the speaker on the Legend. Now what's interesting is you would think that you would not need headphones in order to work with the Legend in the water. You could just keep the speaker on And let me show you what happens when we do that. So we'll go into settings here, and we'll go over and we'll turn the speaker on. We'll turn Bluetooth off. Okay, so now we're speaker only mode. And you hear that? You can hear it really good. You can hear that really good right now. But let me show you, once you get in the water with this machine, water will get inside of that speaker real fast, and it'll really muffle the sound coming out of that speaker. See that? Now that speaker's full of water, and you can barely hear it unless it's ringing really strong. So what I have to do is blow in here, blow the water out of that speaker with your mouth, and then it gets loud again. Okay, so there's a little tip for you guys if you choose not to use Bluetooth headphones. Another quick tip for you guys using the Legend in the water is I've got it in Bluetooth mode, and I'm using Bluetooth headphones up here on the head. I'm using the Nokta Legend Bluetooth headphones. Okay, obviously these are not waterproof, so I don't want to go underwater with them. But the other thing to remember is Bluetooth does not work through the water very well. And so I can work with this Legend up until it's about, I don't know, 2-3 inches below the water. It'll still ring up, and I can still hear it in my headphones. But if I go about 6 inches deep in the water, the Bluetooth signal does not make it from here through the water and up to the headphone. So if you're going to keep with the Bluetooth headphones, you can only use those on the Legend, and probably most any Bluetooth device up through about 6 inches of water. So that's why I and others are going to go with a wired headphone that plugs in here, and that way you can use this up to the 10 feet or so below water that this machine is rated at. We're just swinging along here. Oh, I got a little blip. 11, it can be a good thing. 11 oftentimes on the Legend is gold. So now notice it's showing some iron, and it's not round, or not very many bars on the round there. But let's see if we can find what we've got here. Now it's a little tough in these lakes that I work in that are really murky to put your pinpoint or put your scoop right where you were getting a signal. And so I missed it on that scoop because I can't see my coil. I have to bring it up and then put it back down, and then hopefully I put my scoop where my coil was. And that's just me needing a little bit more practice. You guys will get good at using your equipment probably faster than I am. And this thing is acting like it's a very small target, so I'm hoping it's not continuing to fall through the holes in my sand scoop. It'd be nice for it to be some gold and really pay off. I keep missing it. Now, you can use your pinpointer and get a feel for how big the item is. And this thing is really tiny. Again, that might be a good thing. A lot of trash under here. Once you've pinpointed the item, some people will actually go swim down or reach down and try to just dig underneath their coil until they feel something hard and see if that's what it was. And I did that just now, and sure enough came up with a piece of foil, which makes sense for an 11. So you could do it that way if you're having trouble like me with your sand scoop in the murky water. I'm going to go up here just a little shallower. Again, on the Party Cove, you're going to find a lot of trash. I'm going to go up here a little bit shallower, where I can actually see my coil. That way when I get a signal, I'll be able to put my scoop right on top of it, or right under where it's at. Another tip that I'll give you for using the Nokta Legend in the water is, a lot of times when I'm on land, I will like to keep this armhole free for me to swing without having my arm inside of the strap. But with the resistance of the water, I kind of feel like it flops around a lot more, and so I will, in the water, keep that strap on, and I find that it makes it just a little bit easier to sweep through the resistance of that water. Let's see what we got here. I got a high tone ringing up 46, showing some roundness on the scale there. '20s around it, so there's some trash and potentially some treasure all in this same hole. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what you're looking for. Come on, there you are. Okay, let me see if I can get this scoop right behind it. Come on, baby, be something good. Daddy needs a new bag. Okay, oh, there's that high tone still there. Going back down for it. Get that scoop underneath there. Line her up. Try and get a good scoop. Come on. See if 20s. All right, the 40 something that I had is gone, so that means it might be in this scoop. Well, let's see what we got. Give it a good shake. And hey, look at there. Our first coin, a dime. And is it a modern one? I think so. Hey, I'll take it. Put that in the pouch. We're 10 cents closer to paying off the legend. I'm getting something here. What is that? 12, 13. It's an interesting number. I don't see very often. Where'd it go? If it's on the surface, it might get kicked around by my coil. Did I lose it? Where did it go? Back up just a little bit here. Sweep over the area again really good. Little pieces of foil, if you move them with your coil, they might move. There we go. 11. Yeah, whatever it is, it must be moving around with the coil, because it rings and then it goes away. So I'm guessing that's a little piece of foil that keeps washing back and forth. I'm ready to find something cool. I want to show you guys something that makes you want to listen to why I have the settings the way I have the settings. You're like, why should I listen to this guy? I'll put a couple of pictures of all the rings and jewelry that I found recently with these settings in these freshwater lakes nearby. So you can believe that, hey, maybe he does know what he's talking about. $18, $19. Pinpointed. Oh, missed it. I think I got it that time. Let's see. Hey, what do we got? What is that? Oh, look at there. A shotgun head stamp. All right, cool. Yeah, if you're going to be out in water, do so earlier in the day. Get yourself wet in the deeper water, you know, waist deep, chest deep, whatever, and then work your way back into the shallows. And that way, by the time that you're done, you'll be all dried off and you won't get your truck or your car all wet. Oh, hey, there's a high tone. 60. Oh, it's got some noise mixed in with it. Probably garbage. But we're gonna dig it up anyway. $22. I don't know. Can't tell if I got it or not. Could be multiple things in this hole here. Let's see, anything in there? I don't see anything. All right, let's keep going. There we go. 51, 52. Normally, if we're looking for coins, I think I got it in the scoop. That 51, 52 is on what? Is going to be what with the Legend? You guys that know on land, pretty much the same thing in the water. And sure enough, 51, 52 on land and in the water. It's going to be a quarter. Score. Well, what do you know? I was ringing up 25, 26, which I've dug a dozen or more times out here, and every time's been a bit of pull tab. But the 25, 26 came up a nickel this time, so that's why it's worth digging those. You just never know. Okay, so time for the wrap up. Spent about 2-3 hours out at Party Cove, digging around looking for treasure, and found a few things, but you know, I want to show you what I found there, and also I gave you some settings that I like to use in the water, and I want to show you that even though I may not have found anything amazing at Party Cove today, using those same settings and freshwater beaches around here, I found some really cool stuff that I'm going to show you. So let's see what we found today.
Ruined somebody's shot back on.
So I always like to show the trash that we dig up, and so as you would expect at Party Cove, we've got lots of pieces of tin cans and pull tabs and, you know, little pieces of lead and things like that. The Legend does a really good job even with tiny little pieces. But in addition to the trash, we got some good stuff. So we got a few quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies, and some trashed out ones. And I've got a shotgun head stamp here, a pretty old one. Again, little bitty tiny pieces of, like this piece of brass, I think is probably part of some fishing lure. More lead. Even found recently this wheat penny. So you can still find old stuff. Now these are things that I did not find today, but I have found at the local beaches in the fresh water. So I got a watch here that's still working. Of course, lots of toy cars. Let's jump over this little bit here first. And this is all my bling. I got a rustic cuff, a bunch of earrings, and little blinged out charms and things like that. And again, the Legend does a great job of finding even these little bitty things on land or in the water. But these are the prized possessions. These are the things that actually have some silver content or gold. And found this ring here. Looks like it's got some kind of a blue stone, maybe a, I don't know, sapphire or topaz or something like that. Bunch of fake diamonds around it, but that's stamped 925. All of these are actually stamped 925, so that's why they're in this pile. I got super excited when I found this one. I thought for sure this was going to be a real one, but the diamonds tested out, not real, but that's okay. It was still an exceptionally good day when I found that. Found this little piece of silver that's got some design elements on it. I don't know what that was for, but again, these are using those settings that I showed you guys, and you know, hopefully you guys will be able to try these things out, get that Legend of yours in the water, and show us some of the finds that you get. All right, so you saw what I found today, some of the things that I've found with these settings on the Nokta Legend in the water recently. So try those out. Let me know if you've got some settings that you like to use in the freshwater, saltwater. Let the rest of our community know. Leave us a comment down below. Can't wait to see your finds, and I can't wait to see you again on another episode here. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a wonderful day. God bless.